I really wanted to prove to society that despite not being or working in the industry that I studied in, I can still make it somewhere else. Fine. I want to make $1 million by the end of this year. But if I get $1 million, will I feel the satisfaction? No. You will still continue because you want now the second million and the third.
You being employed, it's not just someone sucking your energy and giving you money at the end of the day. You are learning how that thing runs. It is such an amazing way to get training and you're being paid, or even not being paid, but you would have gone to a school to get that training and probably it would be theoretical, but this one is on the ground. And welcome back to our podcast. I'm very excited. Today I have an amazing guest, but most of all, I'm excited by the comments of the first episode. I really didn't think you guys are paying attention. It's amazing to see feedback, to see your comments. When you engage, I just feel fueled to keep going. The fire keeps, ni kama mnaongeza firewood to the fire, which is an exciting thing. So the first episode is already up on our YouTube, Farmer on Fire, and also on Spotify, so you can still go and find it there. If you need the links, just chat me up. I can share the links with you as well. People are saying they're looking up to topics like scaling, hearing personal stories, understanding what they need to do to get to the next level, because surely these challenges of unemployment and high cost of living and inflation and regimes and governments that are not thinking about their people, and we have to think about ourselves, and that's why we're here today. My name is Kuria, the Farmer on Fire, and I am joined today by a special woman. Let me say, she is amazing. She has a quiet demure. Unasikianga wale watu wa demure? Nimewaleta kwa studio leo. She's this quiet confidence, but a workhorse behind the scenes. And today she's at the front of the camera, my friend. I think you're called Wangari like me.
No, I'm called Kuria.
Oh,
we share the same surname.
We share the same surname. I was wondering which one we share. Yeah, we are both Kurias, Wangari Kuria, and she will introduce herself. And today we're just going to engage and see what are the lessons she has learned from life. I might want to bring you, people who will give you jargon and give you a wow thing. Oh, I even died and then I resurrected. But for me, I want someone relatable, someone who can tell you 1, 2, 3, someone who's open, who's willing to share and wants you to also benefit from whatever pitfalls that they might have gone through. So thank you. That's enough. Thank you. Allow me to welcome my guest today. Please introduce yourself. Habari ya leo? How are you feeling?
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's such an honor to be here. My name is Aidah Kuria, also known as Aidah the event planner. And I'm actually...
Are you having this influenza that is going around?
No, I do not want it. I have resisted for the last 3 weeks and I hope to stay like that till the end of the year. You
know even how they make vaccines. They give you a small dose of the disease. Do you want a bit?
No, please.
You refuse? Anyway, yes. So tell us about yourself. Tell us about growing up. Tell us if Kiambu is Nairobi. Unajua watu wanafikiria Kiambu. Is it to Shago? You need to settle this for us. Are you born Tao? Or you're still a village girl?
First of all, let's say we were tourists. I was born in Laikipia, Olkalau.
Oh, wow. You are Nyandarua babe.
Yes, I'm Nyandarua babe. And my dad used to work in a company where he traveled a lot. So we moved a lot. So I can't say I have childhood friends.
Yeah.
So we grew up a bit in Nakuru. We were in Eldoret, then we moved to Kakamega, then we moved. So I don't know my early years of life. I can't really remember until when we moved to Kiambu. That was my age will
it is well
out there, but yes, in the early 90s.
Utaki watu wajue ni vampire.
So early 90s we moved to Kiambu, and my dad had been posted in Nairobi now. and we settled. Grew up in Kiambu, all schools, Kiambu. And please, Kiambu is Nairobi. Yeah. 25 minutes, you're there. Minus traffic.
However, why is it once you pita like Kiambu, your Ridgeways, your Buji, after red soil inakuwa mingi sana?
We attract nature, we love farming. So you guys overdid buildings on this side, so as we are trying to go slowly and preserve the soil. So
so what did your dad do? Is your dad an entrepreneur? How did you end up saying mimi ni kama ninataka to take the hard path?
Starting up, my dad worked for an organization. He was the head of sales in the country.
Sales is more like entrepreneur.
So he moved around a lot, and there was an year where people were being retrenched, and that wave went with him. So when he left employment, he decided, this is it. I am going to go for entrepreneurial. And he started there. I don't think I said I want to follow a path like my dad. I knew I was a career woman. I wanted to climb up the corporate ladder and be something, you know. But also, just to mention, I'm the third girl in a family of 4. So my big sister was book smart. My second sister is also book smart. Then there was me, who is smart.
Who is street smart?
I had not known I was street smart.
Okay, but you used to compare yourself academically.
A lot because of my sisters who are ahead of me. But now I studied. So after high school, the way we used to be told, go and look for brochures, prospectus to go see what you can do. Because, of course, my grades for Form 4 did not allow me in any campus. So we were to go to TVET.
Okay.
And I wanted, first of all, I think I really was trying my dad. And
Abu, tell my USIU friends what is TVET.
Let's just call it a technical college that the eras of Moi, he's the one who started those ones. So if you didn't perform so well in school, all was not lost. At least
you would go get
learn
vocational skills, which are very valuable. Like right now, compared to the white collar papers, what wamejaza kwa godroa.
Yes. So I think I really wanted to try my dad. Because initially I told him I want to be a DJ.
What?
I was like, no. Then I said I wanted to do contemporary dancing. He said no. Then the third, he just came with a receipt and told me I have paid. When Zako alianza shule last week. So that's how I started school. I studied in KIST. Then it was called Kiambu Institute of Science and Technology. Right now it's
a uni.
KINAP, I think that's what it's called. And I studied computer engineering, hardware. My dad had this vision that after school I will open my own organization and fix people's laptops and computers, which for me,
it wasn't exciting.
It wasn't exciting.
Because you're a very people person, I feel.
And we were only 2 girls in that class, which I think I'm the only one who finished. People dropped out of that course. It's hard because it's more technical calculations and all. So finished, but I looked for a job immediately after college years. And I found myself in customer service. And I realized I am more of a people's person. So I was in there.
You like solving people's problems.
Not really. I just find myself solving people's problems and having solutions.
You are like, don't have enough trauma. Wacha niende nikabebe mashinda za watu.
Just trying. Moved customer service from one telco organization, then to another company. Then from the second company now, I realized I loved events because I was the person who would be asked, get for us a venue, get for us some vendors, get for us, you know. And I realized I need to know what this is. I never knew there was actually a job like event planning. So I went and studied PR. That was my first thought. I studied PR.
Did it help?
No, because I was looking for that one thing, and I was like, this is not what I was looking for. Then I realized there was an organization who were looking for event managers. They were paying twice less than what I was earning, but for me, I was willing to go that route. and just have a feel of the events space. Worked for, I think, 2 months.
Yeah.
Then this career babe, corporate babe.
Yes. Now how old are you?
I will not say, because I was slapped with what? I was pregnant with my first child. 2 months into a new organization, I am pregnant. And I remember even when I was being tested,
yeah,
I really cried. I cried, and that guy was like, "Hey, madam, can you do baba ya mtoto?" But my concern was, that's how my career ends. Like, I'm no longer chasing.
Oh my God.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
That was your concern.
That was my biggest concern. That, and I was going to grow fat.
I love your struggles. For me, I think I was socialized to be a wife, so that would have been good news, not the career woman.
Like, I am a career woman. Because I think for me, I really wanted to prove to society that despite not being or working in the industry that I studied in, I can still make it somewhere else.
So tell us, you are here with a mutungi in your stomach.
I felt like my career has been cut short. I think because of panicking, and also I'm in a new organization. I didn't stay for long. I left, and I became. They were called casuals then. I think it was it was an election year. So I did customer service for Ipsos, where you call and ask, "Utachagua nani? Kwenye wanasema nini?" Until now, I got my child, my firstborn child.
The research organization that checks on polls.
Yes. So got my first child. Then at 8 months, I was like, I can't stay home. I have to look for something. Then connections here and there. There was an agency looking for interns for PR and events department. Went for an interview. I had applied for it, went for an interview. For me, I knew I was going for an interview.
Yeah.
The person who interviewed me was giving me a brief of what happens in this organization.
No way. That's so lucky.
And after we were done, she was like, "Do you still have time?" I was like, I had not planned to come stay because I'd left my child with my mom.
Yeah.
Like, I've not come stay. I'm coming for the interview. Yeah. And she was like, "See you tomorrow at 8.
Okay.
Now panicking. Where am I leaving my child? I don't have a nanny.
Yeah.
Hey, that child. I think my mom.
First one's on a capitia. Because you don't know how to figure out
half
life.
of the time I used to just call and mom would pick the phone from close to the gate so that I don't hear my baby crying.
Oh my God.
So started in agency. I'm grateful to her for giving me a chance to just explore my events abilities.
So what is an agency for those who don't know?
So it was an advertising agency. It simply means this is an organization that helps bigger companies, bigger corporates to put out their brand for brand awareness, and whether it is below the line or by the line, so the billboards, the adverts on TV.
They do promotions, sales, and market. Like kukingia super ako kademu kusalimia.
Exactly. Like the full, when you think of a product, the full, from the branding to the logos to all that. So I was working in an organization that does that. And our department was mostly for event launches, if we are pushing a new brand. So on ground things, activities, road shows and all. Yeah. Stayed, I think, for an year there. My boss didn't stay for long. I think she stayed for 6 months, then she resigned. And then someone else resigned, so I was left in that department alone. Still green. Tried to fight for pay increase. It didn't work. I moved. Got another job. Different industry altogether. And this time we were selling what? Transformers and street lights.
KPLC a contract?
A contractor. So joined a contractor who was selling that.
How do you sell a transformer?
It's hard.
It's hard.
How are you going to convince the people who use it that you think you have the best?
Who is your audience? Who is your client?
KPLC only. So it is just tenders, and you're fighting with people outside, the Indians, the
there are
Portuguese,
other people, other suppliers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where you understand that every industry has a cartel. So sold that, I think, for
when you sell one transformer, how much commission would you make?
I was, maybe disclaimer would be, I was employed by a fellow Kikuyu. There's no commission.
You are salaried.
You're salaried.
So you're already doing enough. Transformer sai. How much does it cost?
No, actually, just even a street light then. A street light, we were selling it at 30 and we were getting it like at 15K from Dubai. After shipping and everything.
How much does a transformer cost generally?
It was
Is it like $1 million?
Almost.
3 million.
Depending on even faces, you know, there's the big one, it depends on what you're selling.
Okay.
Hard task, of course. Did it for 8 months. Then he was this guys who would ask you have KPIs for the month.
Yeah.
He'll tell you what you achieved, what did you achieve, what did you not achieve. Then he would pay us in cash. And he had those things for the bank. What are they called where you count the money?
Oh, the machine.
Yes. Then he would count your money. Then he stops. Then he says, "This is how much you earned for that month."
Oh my God! And
so even if your salary was 70, and he feels you didn't achieve 100% for that month, you might be going home with 40 Gs.
Oh my God!
Or even 50. Did you sign a contract? No. So you can't, it's your word against.
But then there is like the amount that you agreed, and then there should be comms on the side, which now varies depending on performance.
Just to say, maybe, let me say that time when you see, right now systems are even better.
Yeah.
Then systems were just cutting. So who would you go and tell? Then I don't think people were very courageous to go to Ministry of Labor, because even if you go to Labor, they'll ask you, do you have a contract? Okay. How did you agree to start this job? Like, you don't have concrete evidence that you work for this person.
Okay. What would you say were how would you apply for these jobs?
How? I think I was just fortunate.
No, for someone listening at home and they're like, where do I start? Like, I've applied, like my niece, she's applying for her internship. And yesterday we were talking, she's so frustrated. She's like, I feel like giving up. And I'm like, you know what? You've done everything you need to do, because she's applied like 1,000 places. We came with that because she wanted to go into parastatals and government internship. And we sat down and we listed all the organizations she wanted, and she's been going there physically and sending CVs, and it's still not worked out, and they're about to be called back to school. And so she's panicking, and I was like, you know what? Sometimes in life, you get some, you lose some. Don't expect that you will always get everything you desire.
True.
And then additionally, I was like, you are going through the route that everyone goes through. You need now to think how a clever way that someone has not figured out how to still get that job where there is not as many people. For you, what would you say?
Honestly, I would say, I know there's the idea of what you want. You want to be hired by government or this big parastatal or a certain NGO or what. But that's where you lose your time. There's a fintech company coming up, and it's a startup, and they're just looking for resources. What you're trying to build during internship, it's your skills.
Right.
Whatever skills that come in handy, that's what we are looking for. Even internship on paper, it's what skills did you learn?
Yeah. Whether
you studied computer science, but you ended up being an admin person, you have learned something during your internship. So I would say for people who are looking for something, of course, I know it's good to be choosy, but at this point of life when you're starting,
but then how do you find those small startups? Because she refused she refused to work for me. So I was like, okay, that's also okay. And that's how sina systems.
She should come and create the system she imagined you should have.
Oh no, when Gen Zs are looking for internship, they're not here to create, they're here to clock in,
and do whatever has been done.
Because even me, when I was that age, I wasn't thinking that I can come and be of value.
If you look at Gen Z and our generation, we are totally different. We didn't choose per se, but you'd work towards, you want to be hired by government.
Right.
You start somewhere with you working towards the institution that you want. Because along the path, you're learning things.
True.
Whether you're working for your mother, your auntie, you're doing pro bono jobs, you're learning something, because it's your skills at the end of the day that no one will pick that paper and stick it in your office and say, oh, first honors. No, we want to see, yes, you've learned. How are you putting in the work on ground?
And I think that's an amazing point, because people don't understand that you being employed, it's not just someone sucking your energy and giving you money at the end of the day. You are learning how that thing runs. It is such an amazing way to get training, and you're being paid, or even not being paid, but you would have gone to a school to get that training, and probably it would be theoretical, but this one is on the ground and you have to think on your feet. I think for us it was different because we were trying to build something. For them, they're just not overthinking this thing.
And that's the problem. Because you need to have something. What's your end goal? What's your end? For us, we knew, like I was telling someone, for us, we knew we are working to go and, we are studying to go and work in Nairobi. Like, working in Nairobi was very prestigious.
Yeah.
Daddy in Nairobi. Yes. You know, I'm going to work in Nairobi. But for them, it's, what's your end goal?
But you see, there is no excitement of, I'm going to Nairobi. You can even work remotely.
True.
And they're not thinking 10 years down the line. They're thinking now.
Because that's the same thing I was asking my brother. Fine, you want to be your own boss, you want to be remotely working, but what's your end goal? What do you want to become? What's the legacy you want to leave? Fine, you want a lot of money, but after a lot of money,
and how did that conversation go? What is he saying?
Now he's thinking, because he's thinking of, fine, I want to make $1 million by the end of this year. But if I get $1 million, will I feel the satisfaction? No. You will still continue because you want now the second million and the third, you know. But now you can see he's more focused of the things he wants to achieve, their systems he wants to do, their applications he wants to create, their solutions he wants to give out. He has identified certain companies that needs his expertise. So you see, even if you're making money, for me, I say value can be a very good driver, and that will propel you. You won't even be, you might not even be understanding how much money am I making at that point, because people are needing you, and that's such a good motivator when you're being needed by human beings, and you can see the positive change of, oh, this company was here before I joined, and this is where we are at. That's very exciting for me. So you are saying they should have a goal so that they are not just running around getting lost in the woods. And the reason why they're getting frustrated is you do not have a goal. Because it's just like you're ticking a box. I sent it to, I sent it to, I sent it to. What did you want to achieve when you were sending it?
They wanted to get internship.
But what was it? Was it to tick a paper? Like to tick
the school requires it. They don't care about us.
So you see, if you are not just looking to tick a checklist, then your goal becomes different on how you're searching for that job. Because now it would have
What's
been
a better goal? Give us 2 or 3 examples of a better goal than the school requires this for me to graduate.
For me, it's how do you want to position yourself 2-3 years from now? Where do you want to see yourself after school? After here, I would say, you see, like Babu Owino, he was very strategic. Him staying in school for all those years.
You know,
look at him now.
Like, he was building his foundation politically.
Exactly. So what is your goal? What do you want people to remember you? Even if you died on your last day of school, what would you want people to remember you with? You might be innovative when you're still in school. And even when you leave, everyone would say, Wangari always wanted to. What are people saying? So if you want motivation and if you're looking for an end goal, it's next year, where do I want to be? I can't be the same place. And what do I want to achieve?
I love that, thinking ahead. Like in 10 years, this is what I say, you're broke now, in 2 years you'll still be broke, but if you change something now, it can mean that there is a higher chance that in 2 years you won't be broke.
True.
But then people don't want to think that far. They're just like, I'll be fine, I'll kind of be okay. But you'll still be broke. You'll be alive, you'll be barely,
surviving.
Because there won't be someone who's coming from heaven and bringing you that money, or there won't be someone coming and saving you. Because we see that with athletes and movie stars and models being discovered. And you're there saying, one day I shall be discovered. And then you're like, discovered for what? Okay. Yeah. No one is coming. Save yourself.
No one is coming to save you. No one. Absolutely. You are the only person who can save yourself.
Awesome. So, tumeendelea vizuri, tumeanza, at least we've gotten into the line of work that you are in today. But at what point did you go into entrepreneurship?
So when I left...
Is it before the milk or after the milk?
So when I left selling street lights, I was like, you know what? This is it. I'm going to open my company.
Yes.
I still feel my heart is in the event space. That time we used to go to Sharia house. You queue for your papers to be approved.
Oh my God. Thank God
the following week you find that your business name has not,
oh my God.
Your business name has not been approved. So you have to give out another 3.
Yes.
You come back next week again to check.
And that backing hall was hot and sweaty and the queues.
So you can only, so I think I'm still putting my age out there. How old?
What do I do?
So I left that organization, applied...
Opened a company. Aidah event now.
No. Actually, Aidah the event planner is like a stage name. Because I realized every time I used to do events for people. And so my organization is called Dalitso Investments. So anytime someone wants to write a check, they want to do Aidah the event planner. And I'm like, no.
That's just a stage name.
It's just a stage. But it's because people saved me Aidah events, Aidah planner.
It comes automatically.
Exactly. So I was like, I think I need to push this as a brand.
Yes.
Because when you think events, think Aidah the event planner.
Yeah. The name just sells you.
Exactly. So opened an organization, sat down and asked myself, what do I want to do? I was like, I think weddings is an easy way to go about it.
Okay.
The beauty about events is you can start without capital. As long as someone believes you have it in you.
Yes.
So, and I think my friend, she's called Jambi, she gave me her wedding and we laughed it through. She was like, it's fine, we can do this, you can't mess it. How bad can it be, you know?
Oh my God.
So she was my first wedding. And it was amazing. And I realized...
Because I know you hata kutakuwa na bomb kwa hiyo event na wenyewe hatajua.
But I really panicked.
Yes.
But it made it easy because one, she was my friend. She really believed I could do it.
You didn't want
so
to
she made it easier for me when we got, and that's how I think I became authentic in my career path. Because even when I got stuck, she would call me and ask me, what's happening? Can you find the flowers? Can you find this fabric? Can you find, what can we do? What solutions do we have? So she made it easy for me to create her wedding. And moving forward, I realized I need to have a relationship with my clients. So before I execute an event, I need to understand who is Wangari. What does she like? What is her expectation of her event? Then it makes it easy. By the time I'm executing the event, Wangari is at peace because we've had a journey. Even if it's for like 3 weeks, we've had a journey.
There is not that, why would you buy this? This is not me.
Exactly. So it made me...
For those people who don't know, I did the event planner. I did my first conference. When you scare kitu inaitwa imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is a big American word that is supposedly unique for women, but it just says women's fear of starting. So when I came up with the idea of the conference and I don't even know where to start, what to do, this person held me. Yani, how could why to me I know we need to talk about this. Don't allow your friends to take advantage.
We are watching you. We are watching you grow. Then we can send you an invoice. But I think what I can say for me is, as much as events is a business, for me it's never about the money. For me it's
value.
The value. What value did I give you? And even the people I have worked with, they will tell you, I never, my first instinct is never about cash. For me, it's, I want to understand what
just is just because we are friends.
No, imagine that anyone who has worked with, they know. I will ask, what is your end game? What is your expectation of this? If I feel I can't do it, I will honestly tell you, do you mind if I hand you over to someone else? Why? Because I don't want to disappoint you. I don't want to sell air and give you...
It is being sold huku kwa streets. This is a Nairobi in plenty.
Which now, for me, I'm building a brand. So I don't want to be associated with, try that chiku, you know. So it's never about money. I will understand what do you want to achieve from your event. And after that, now then I can give you my rate card. If you feel it's something that you can manage, well and good, we will continue. If it's something that you cannot, pay for consultation.
What happens when you have this client who wants this bombshell event? Na budget ni ile ya kasongo, like
of course, everyone. I think most of the clients come like that. You want, you know, versus this. But for me, I've learned there's nothing that is impossible under the sun.
Oh, so you still keep a straight face.
Yes, you want a backdrop made of glass. We have shimmer, which is cheaper, or we can create anything Moshaino that you want.
So you won't have that. Are you on drugs?
As long as it's possible to recreate.
Oh, you will still make an effort.
Yes. If it's something recreatable, we will still make it. If it's something which is impossible, we will advise accordingly. Yes.
And I think these are the values that make you this global event planner that people recognize even outside Kenya. It's because word of mouth is such a big pusher for you. And also you value your clients. You know it's a high tension industry. Watu wako na mapressure.
People have been duped out here.
Tell us.
I had a client last year who had advertised for the position before, and they got someone, and midway they realized that person has been selling air. She's just been asking for money, and nothing is happening on ground.
Oh my God.
So by the time, and I always feel the foreigners, of course, they are not on ground, so they don't know what is happening. So menda, mtu amekuja amesema, oh, we went to the hotel, they're saying full day conferencing is 6,000. Then the client asked for a direct account for the hotel. They're like, no, because of transfer charges, you just send all the money to my account. I will make payments to the hotel.
I will distribute to the suppliers. So
that you don't keep deducting. So so don't send now. So send mine and for the photographer and for the, so you send in bulk. By the time, I remember my client was telling me, they called the hotel to ask these dates. And they were told they were open.
And they were like, what?
And they're wondering, open?
Yes.
Are you lying? Because... And they were like, no, this is a matter of life and death. We really want to know because we've been dealing with someone and we've made payments and we've been waiting for a contract. We've not seen it. So we wanted to know. And they were told, no, yes, they made an inquiry, but they never booked.
Okay. So let's go back to the story. So you've registered the company.
I've registered the company.
And you're at home. You're doing nothing else. You're growing. You're starting your company.
From zero.
Yes.
So I've done my friend's wedding and I'm like, I think we can do this. And then there was...
What was the budget for the wedding?
Wedding was almost 1 point.
Oh, okay.
But yeah...
And you charge 10, 20%, 30%?
No, I'm still new. She's not. She's still my friend also. I'm also afraid of charging her a lot. I know she's also struggling and she also doesn't want to, you know, haribu biashara. I could say I got something out of it.
Okay.
But looking at it now, I would have made so much more. Because also the person who provided the tent and the seats, we were in high school together. So, and we were all starting. So tunabembelezana. You just take the seats, it's fine. The market price is at 180, I'll give you at 100. You know, we are all trying to help each other.
Yeah.
So I would have made something, I made something small out of it, but we were like, okay, so I can do this.
Okay.
Did any job come again? The end.
What do you mean? Follow-up jobs?
There were no follow-up jobs, but that was a fail on my part.
Okay.
I had not understood what being an entrepreneur means.
What does that mean?
Being out there, doing all the dirty work, being in the mud. Like, you're the marketing person, you're the sales agent, you're the finance,
What
you're
is
the
sales
ops.
and marketing so that future jobs come in? What does that look like for you today?
Right now, I could say I'm doing more of awareness of what Aidah the event planner does. Purely marketing. If I am selling is event oriented, what events do I have as Aidah that I can push to client that they will feel comfortable to partner with? So yes, before that I didn't have that. I thought referrals. Yes, you saw me doing that wedding. Why aren't you calling me? Yeah. And I've put myself out there. So there was a quiet season after the wedding.
How long?
Almost like 8 months.
Oh my God, unalipa rent na nini?
At least no, there was no paying of rent.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just the fact that you need money,
like
your
my
own
company.
money.
Yeah. And you're so tempted to go back to employment.
I went back to employment.
Okay.
Which was another agency. It was more of an experiential marketing. There were more of the activations and road shows and all. Didn't stay there for long.
Yes, so these agents, the marketing agencies, they usually need a lot of casuals from time to time, especially during, the next half of the year, from August to December. There's usually a lot of events, but they don't need like someone every day. They just need someone to hold that spot and market or share samples. It's not an easy job, but it's a way for them to be out there because wamejifungia kwa nyumba. The TikTok to scrolling. How do they get into those circles?
Nowadays, I find that people have already created their niche.
Okay.
A long time you used to go to the agency itself and say, this is what I do. Some agencies are still picking so that they can have their own in-house brand ambassadors, but there are organizations who have already.
Like which one?
I don't know. I just know her by name. She's called Becky because I call her whenever I need.
Can we get their Instagram and then put them here?
I will ask her.
Okay.
I just have her number. So anytime I'm in need of any kind of people,
merchandisers.
Exactly. I have Becky. I have Win. Like I have people on my speed dial.
Yeah. Are you open to asking them if you can share? You can share your networks with our audience.
Yes.
So for them,
so for me, anytime someone asks me, do you have people on ground? I don't go looking. I will call these 2 people. It will be their headache to give me the right people.
Okay.
Yes.
So and you can get even 100 people on Kesho Nataka, 20 people.
Boro umepatiana kazi.
Okay.
You've called Becky, you've called Wayne, you've told them, these are the people I want. I'm looking for 6 foot 10 men.
Yes,
they
young,
will show up
with big bum bums.
Exactly. They will show up.
Yeah.
So at least I know there are agencies.
I feel like, do they discriminate on body type? Because sometimes you'll find a new club will have a certain type of body shape.
It depends on your target audience. What are you trying to push?
Oh,
so
all young people are just attractive. You have to be specific.
There are those who are very specific because you can't be very unfair to someone who is not comfortable to wear booty shorts and boots and sneakers, and you're telling them to come and stand during the UEFA something tournament. But you also need to look at the criteria of what exactly are we trying to push? Are we pushing the body? Or are we pushing there's a brand, there's an awareness towards.
Right.
Yeah. So even for me, I'm very careful when I give out people because if you're going to put people out there and sexualize them, that's not my agenda.
Oh, okay.
Because I will also want to understand your brief. What exactly are we pushing?
So there are briefs running around here.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if I feel that brief, I would give it to someone and tell them if it fits something that you want to do, by all means, but I do not advocate. Okay,
what's the highest a merchandiser or such a casual can be paid for a day?
Well, I'm not so sure, but I think maybe 3,000.
3K?
Or 5,000.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're making money out here. So if you're working Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every week,
yes,
you're rich.
Oh.
Even give it 3,000 per.
And you can even make it like your permanent source of income. Then you,
as long as the brands liked you, that's because that's the other thing. Did you understand their brand?
Okay.
Are you selling the right thing to them, or you're just going there to look pretty?
And that's on them also. They need to take on that embodiment of the brand, understand it, know what clients want, have a good attitude.
Exactly. It is just understanding the brand and know what is the agenda of my client, what do they want to push.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm on ground.
Okay, interesting. Because I hear some brands want to push, you're nonchalant. They don't want you to smile too much. They want to show this brand is prestigious and it's not for everyone.
Which is still fine. That's why I said it's a brief.
Yeah.
So what did the brief say? Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So let's move to what happens next.
So went back to employment. stayed, I think, for what? I didn't stay. Actually, my employments, I didn't stay. Other than my first 2 employments. 6 months. 6 months, then you remember why again I am not a person to be employed.
Yeah.
Then you resign. But I think that the last one we left amicably because already my boss understood I already had an organization I was doing.
Right.
Then also, just sitting and sweating and all blood, tears, sweat, and then all profits goes to one person. And you're not even getting bonuses and all. So that gets into your head.
Niliona ile pesa ilingia. Mimi nilikuwa napeleka hizo checks na my invoices.
So I left. I was like, I need to work on my brand.
Yes.
So I started again. Now this time round, I was more strategic. Because I had seen, I was very close to my boss because I was the business development manager. So I used to go for so many meetings with him. And I realized he taught me to go checking on billboards and signages on buildings. Of if you see a building, you look at which offices sit here.
Okay.
If you see a billboard, you're like, if they can afford a billboard.
Watu wako na kalamu kwa nyumba wanaandika. Okay. So you can go see which offices are in this building block.
Yes. Then you see, go do your research.
Oh, then go home, ingia Google.
Look, what does Farm on Fire do? What do they deal with? Do they have conferences? Do they do activations? Do they?
Because it's on their website and social media. Yeah.
So by the time you are approaching, you're making your first call to Farm on Fire's organization, you already know how to position yourself. So you'll call them and tell them, I saw you normally do activations. We at this organization, we normally do activations. We even have vans. If you're looking for road shows, we also do trainings. You know how to position yourself by the time you're calling that organization. Yeah. So I started the work.
So event planning si mchele na watermelon peke yake.
It's all blood, sweat, tears. All. And it's also like the same thing I said, all industries have a cartel. You could find a tender, you would pitch, and you've been shortlisted and you've been told, come on this day for pitching. And you know, in your deck, you normally write our organization.
Yes.
It is you yourself and you. Then you go for pitching.
Yes.
You just enter the boardroom where everyone is waiting, and you find big names in there. You just feel like dying.
Now, you've looked for
standard.
Homeboys has asked you to come and do a presentation.
No, you're going to a client, and Homeboys is also pitching for the same job. You know, you die inside.
Yeah. So what do you do? How do you collect yourself from the floor and do it?
That's how I met, you remember Kangeve?
Oh, yes.
So that's how we started partnering with other people who are doing consultancy.
Yes.
To see what are your strengths. Maybe my strength is in events, your strength is in PR. If we come together and we fill in a tender together, we can show up as one organization.
Yes.
Whether you're the one who filled it in, we will come as your organization. If it is I filled it in, you'll come as my organization.
And then you are more warm bodies.
Exactly. Yeah. Because everyone has their different strengths.
I've noticed that when Kitamba used to just be mama na baba, you're the accountant, the driver, the everything. And I would go to visit farmers and I would go alone and then they would be looking so disappointed like,
where's your team?
Where's your team? And we have like, I don't have people running around being my entourage, wako kazi, wako na. Na kama hukutaka nikuje peke yangu wangekuja, so it's either me or then I realized that's how the world works. Go with our own body for meetings.
So it has taught for the event speeches, it has taught me if you're not collaborating with other people, you cannot make it.
Okay.
You have to partner with someone who is better at something, better than you.
Yes.
Yes, you have an idea of it, but you need to have someone who is
clueless.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you will be clueless. I'll give you. Let me move a bit so that I can tell you why don't be clueless. So after I have pitched around, and we have thought now business is speaking. I've done a wedding here, a baby shower there. Now I'm picking, but I've not entered the corporate world. I'm still afraid of it because you've gone for pitching and you've died. Like you didn't even pitch. You went there and mumbled, and maybe you had a higher stake.
Yeah.
But just because you showed up alone, and every other company were a whole team.
A whole team in suits. I knew you were there,
Kagal. The corporate actually that killed my vibe for, I'm not going to do corporates again. So someone from church refers me to an organization. They were launching, it's Gava. They were launching the statistic numbers, the number of people who have been found with HIV and AIDS and how many medicines they have dished out. And we've gone for a meeting. I'm like, I'm sitting in the boardroom where I want.
Yes.
You have the US embassy in that room. You have the government. You have some doctors. And you're looking the part.
Yeah.
Then meeting starts. And I removed my notebook.
Notebook or my laptop?
It was notebook.
Okay.
We have tujafika kwa laptops bado.
Okay.
We took a notebook. Then now we are writing brief of how the event is supposed to be and meaning. I reach into my bag. Does Aidah have a pen? I don't have a pen. Aki, I am seated with the US embassy ambassador.
But you remove your phone and you're like, I'm Gen Z, I'm paperless.
We were not at that point. At that time, when I tell you, at least I would have removed. So guess what was in my bag? I had an eye pencil.
No
so I removed my eye pencil. I scribbled my brief confidently, and I left. I keep thinking that's the reason why I didn't get that job. I think they looked at me, they're like, "How unserious are you?"
Are you serious?
But also, I think
you judged yourself.
I really judged. I really judged myself and how they looked at me, and actually I'm the one who was looking at myself and what they thought.
Maybe they were just like,
I didn't even do follow-ups. You know the way you would say, next meeting is on Wednesday, let's come back, and I cut that vibe, cut that story, done. I was like, I'm not going to embarrass myself again. Who am I kidding? You know?
Yeah.
So left that, and immediately after, so left that, and a friend of mine had invited me for an event for cars. And it was an all-women's car clinic, and people were being taught how to check their engine and all that.
I've heard of those events. So teaching women how to be car conscious and mechanical conscious.
Then after, when I went, I was like, I don't feel the satisfaction of me attending this thing. And she was like, why don't you start your own? Like, really? Yeah. Like, I can do this, Came up with names. I remember we were at my mother's house with my sister trying to figure out what can we call this event. And the birth of lipstick and dipstick came. Car clinic for women. Yeah. Did my first
How
event.
was it?
It had 5 people.
Which is good, and not good.
My cousin, my sister, my sister-in-law. I knew everyone, literally. But it was amazing because it gave me that confidence of I can actually do this.
You know, at the end of it all, you got to the finish line.
Exactly. That was 2019 March. So I said I will be doing once a year.
Okay.
So I'm now trying to prepare for the next one, end of 2019, March 2020. We've done our second one. This time round, we have 33 people plus vendors.
Nice.
Which it was also really good. The turnout was great, the learnings and all. And there was a need for another event, and had purpose to put it in June. Then actually I think it was like the following day, COVID was announced.
Oh.
So no movement, no nothing. You can't do any events.
How did you survive events, people, during COVID?
It was hard.
It was hard
because I remember there was also a friend of mine who had been booked for a wedding, and she had to return the funds. And now she's calling you to tell you, how am I returning funds? I bought tables. It was really hard for events people. Before people understood that there's virtual events. Really hard.
Which is a different dynamic. You have to relearn so much.
Yes. And because I am of the idea I don't love loans. I don't like debt. I was like, I think I can start something else. So a friend of mine had sold an idea of being a distributor for milk.
Okay. Yes.
So I went,
you've been through it.
So I went, sat down with her, listened. She was like, you don't even need a lot of money. Just go talk to whatever organization you want to be the distributor for. they will allocate you.
Where break down for people in the house who want to start milk distribution business. Break it down. Usisema ati it's not hard. Unaenda tu unauliza watu mnataka maziwa. You say it literally. What did you do?
So no, first this was the advice. Samples? This was the advice I got. Just go target who do you want to be a distributor for.
Okay.
And I was like, I think I want to be a distributor for Brookside. Why? It's an easy brand.
Okay.
So you don't have to tell people,
oversell.
Vitamin. It's already, the brand itself sells itself.
Yeah. It's a distribution gap that you're feeling.
Went to research, entered LinkedIn. You know, you can't just enter Brookside. You need an appointment.
Okay.
So I remember I sat down Googling their website, our team. It's not giving me anything. You go to LinkedIn, people who have worked there. And I was like, you know what? We are going full face, dressed up, drove to the gates.
Oh, you need a car for such appointment.
Yes, because from the gate to where the offices is such a distance.
No, but also showing even up. Gatekeepers waseme. Exactly. Ukienda hapa walking, rutideva wanataanza kuuliza maswali mengi.
So we went. I remember we were asked, who have you come to see? And we said a name. And they looked at us. That person left like 2 years ago. And I was very confident about it because
then who else can I see in that position?
And also the other thing that I learned is even with my dad, my dad tells us, if you're entering somewhere and you don't know, walk like you know where you're going. Because if you walk like you don't know where you're going, people will stop you. You look suspicious. You walk like you know where you're going. You'll go ask on 5th floor where
and
you're
going.
And
doesn't mean rude, but act confident.
Act confident, own the part.
Yes.
So we owned the part and they were like, oh, are you Kolakini? You can see this other person.
Okay.
Drove in, went and saw the regional head, gave us an idea, asked us where do you want to be distributors. We said within Kiambu area because it's closer home, of course.
Yeah.
We were taken to, where is that place near Thika? Mwehoko, Wetavia. But Wetavia was far. Between just looking how much money do we need to start this business. And before now starting the milk business, because now we needed the numbers. I was selling lights. These lights, the chandeliers, all monument floor lamps.
Where do you get them?
There's a warehouse in industrial area. Actually,
you're quite the plug. Where
you know, there's someone who was selling them to me to resell, and because my orders were becoming more, I asked them where to get them, and they told me they can't tell me because
you will catch them.
But the fact that they had mentioned it's gotten from industrial area, I spent a whole day looking for that place, that warehouse.
No, Janja. Now, watu wanataka tu kukaa nyumbani and say there are no jobs. This government is not thinking about us.
So had raised some money for that. So, you know, you do your math, you're like, nispopitisha 100,000. Ninunue maziwa ya 50,000. If I sell, then we play around with the 50K until it grows, you know. So I had planned to start, then we took a break a bit because of now planning the finances. Then I was now looking.
Also, you went to Brookside with zero capital.
Zero.
You are just going to understand.
I was going to get information. Because out here, you'll be told being a distributor at any of these brands.
Hata Coca-Cola.
Especially Coca-Cola tulikuwa tumeuzua uoga tukaambiwa if you don't have 10 million as deposit,
I knew you are saying it's a hoax. Go find out for yourself.
Go find out for yourself because there's always customized packages. You may not afford the 1 million that we are asking for, but you can afford the 500 and you can push the commodity because at the end of the day, they're also in business.
Then they want to sell.
Yes, they're also in business. They want to push.
Yeah.
So we had gathered information, went back now to plan maths. Met someone who were in high school together. And I was like, this is the biashara I want to start. If you can give me like 250.
I'll be sorted. I have
done my math. After month 6, I can start paying slowly. Cool. Then now Brookside called me and told me they found what is this? They found a space in Roiro Town, not Roiro Town, Membli. where we can put the store.
The shop
now.
Store. Okay.
Because it's not like a shop. It's you're a distributor, so it's like a store. It's like a warehouse. Exactly.
Yeah.
So by the time now that was gotten, I asked my friend, what do you think of this? She's like, I've even gotten fired from my organization.
I'm gonna come
to do
ingia kwa ground na wewe.
She came full force like an investor.
Oh wow.
Did the branding, did the partitioning of the store.
Elevated your dream.
Exactly.
Yes.
And ordered more than what I had asked for.
Okay.
Business was good. We used to sell with our cars, our saloons.
Boot in my jar.
Kila weekend uko kichenjiwa bush na shocks. But for us, we grew so fast. In a period of 3 months, we grew so fast, which was risky. Because even I remember the head of Brookside came to check, who are these people?
Who are these girls?
Who are these girls who are pushing
moving product this much?
Milk is good. If you're not greedy, that's what I can say. If you're not greedy, you want to grow slowly. That biashara is good.
I think you can say FMCG one is nicer. Like even I saw at the time I used to sell Pampers. It's like that. It doesn't have big margins, but you have an opportunity to grow and do it for 10. In 10 years, utakuwa na warehouse for sure.
Exactly. If you just know how to push the product, and you know how to just don't be greedy. That's what I can tell anyone who wants to enter the FMCG. Don't be greedy. You're earning 10 shillings, 20 shillings a box. Tosheka na hiyo. Just create a strategy on how to push more products out other than.
And what were the strategies you are using as we wind up? I know our audiences are tired of past an hour, but we have to hear this story.
We looked at organization who can pick bulk, because that one at least you get to move faster.
Is it like schools, colleges,
hotels,
parastatals?
Exactly.
Hotels.
Yes. Supermarkets.
Yes.
So people who can pick bulk. Yes, the small shops are good. They're actually the best because every day they're picking a box.
So
it's moving faster. The bigger organizations,
the supermarkets, the Naivases.
Payment period.
Cash flow.
Cash flow. Inaleta shida. So what I would say is, if this week you have someone paying, you need to be alternating on the people who pick on what week, so that you're constantly having cash flow.
So you have those big clients and you have the small ones just to balance it out.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So over time, yes, we went into debt, which was a story for another day.
Yes. Yesterday, Brookside tunataka kusikia the horror, but let's come back to Aidah, the event planner. So walk us through your day. How does a typical day look like when you are planning the next conference 2025 of women in agribusiness for your friend from On Fire? What does a typical day look like towards 1 week to the event, 3 days to the event? You know, I remember even you telling me, you need to come and sample the food. And me, I'm like, it's buffet, it's a nice hotel. What do I need to sample? Yeah.
I think not even 3 weeks or a month to, it's from the day that brief comes in.
Okay.
Work starts.
I didn't have a brief though.
You just knew you wanted a conference, the end of 70 packs, the end. That's still a brief.
Okay.
So work is for me to know what venues work for my client. Budgets, the vendors that they can work within that budget. Then also the clients that we are receiving, the guests who are coming in. Do they have any issues, dietary issues? Are they flying in? Do they need visas?
No, we are talking about Kenya. And dietary ni maneno gani?
Oh, you'll be shocked. You will be shocked.
Because I've been to international events and they're like, we are a vegan conference. Then there's no meat.
And you'll be shocked because we are Africans. People don't feel the need to ask about the dietary. And you'll realize half of the time, even if you throw your eyes around these African conferences, you'll just realize there's someone who will eat fruits from day one of the conference till the end. And when you ask around it, they're vegans.
Sensitive time.
Exactly. And they're vegans and they're afraid maybe someone dipped the rice, whatever, in the meat, whatever bowl dish, and they're allergic. Exactly. So I always ask if there's anyone who has dietary restriction, if there's anyone who has any kind of illness. You'll realize there are people who are claustrophobic. You can't put them in the middle of the room. They need to sit either at the exits, near the windows. You joke.
But people,
yes, you're a therapist. When you're an event planner, you're a therapist. You're a lawyer. You're a mediator.
Above coordinating the event, ukopia on emotions and
everywhere. So it's a work in progress from who are we expecting to what needs to be printed, to how the sitting arrangement how the sitting arrangement is going to be, who is the guest of honor, security protocol, where will they park, where will they pass, if the president is coming to your event,
things I would never think about. Exactly. Where will they park? Kuna parking.
And especially if you're having a very big name, delegates coming, the hotel has to be notified because they have their own security protocols. They have their own procedures. He can't just park anywhere. He can't just enter through any other lift. He can't come through the usual lift for everyone. There is a lift.
I saw when Mother Karua came for my event, and it wasn't just we walk, it's first we sit and people are organized, they settle down, and then we walk when the room is calm. Not just pitana.
So there's so much that goes in within the planning, and I think over time I learn everything new. Every day I learn something new, and what I like, I've been able to create my own ecosystem of vendors and suppliers I can rely on. People who I can call. I can call and tell them I've gotten a brief. We have a job tomorrow. And people will show
up. Move mountains for you. Even if they don't have it, they will figure out something. As we finalize, let's talk about training and how you're empowering people and how you want people to also find a calling in this line of work.
All right. I think that was a line that I really struggled with, and people kept asking me, can you teach me how to be an event? And I'm like, I don't know how to make
this video will be popular because they're like, that's something I can do. I don't need capital.
I can't make a me.
Yes. You can't clone Aidah.
I can't clone Aidah.
I wish you could.
But for me, my first question is, are you sold out? Do you really want to be, or you just want to do it as a side hustle? Because events planning is not a side hustle. That's what I need to tell people. It's not a side. It's your main hustle.
It's not seasonal though?
It is not seasonal. You create your own. There's so many things to do in the events. Currently, I am a trainer. I've had the opportunity to train at Boma International College of Hospitality. They have a course. There's also an intake of events management where you can get the certification. There's so much that goes into, and I'm so happy that I'm able to do it so that I can empower other people to have people who are authentic on the ground to do. We have a group of event planners who are teaching.
Oh, wow.
So at least it's not the usual lecturers who studied in school and now they're coming to transfer the same knowledge.
Well, ground.
We are teaching the students what is on the ground, what is real. We are removing what we know it will not work, it will never work. So training, yes, I do training.
But also tell us, these people, because najua hata nisumbua kwa inbox, how do they find you? Your email, your website, your phone number, whatever you're willing to give share. Out, your office line, tafadhali.
All right. My socials, Aidah the Event Planner.
Yes.
My socials, Aidah the Event Planner. On Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. On LinkedIn, I'm Aidah Kuria. On, where else are people looking at? My email is aidah@aidah.events. S at the end. If you need to call me, 0780-203-423. 0780-203-423. Then we can start your journey in this career and see what exactly it is so that you can't just, you don't dive in like the way we did and started with all sorts of events. Now you can start with a niche.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your knowledge. I feel like I know you better as my friend. And I was like, I just know highlights. But it was such a deep dive. And I love the lessons that you kept throwing, the strategies. Strategy is such a big word. I don't like using it. I want people to tell me exactly, unakiona ukiona billboard unaenda, ukiona notice board unaenda unapigia watu unawaambia this is what I do and I think we should need to have a conversation or a meeting, you know.
Yes.
So thank you so much for your time. Let us know of any questions, any comments about Aidah. We'll make sure we share them with her. If you'd like to reach out, you have her contact. Let us grow this community. Share this video to people you think might be interested. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
Madam
me.
Kuria. Yes, namesake.